Haha. Part 3. The story behind my mind you, the Samsung A71s are so crap that the keyboard, the internal software is just so, it doesn't work with a reset. There are letters that don't appear when you tap your screen. It's just all so crap, but I've no interest in technology. What I'm interested in, yes, the truth of Britain. And there are many, many independent sources that will verify, so to speak. You end up in a hospital in Britain, take some earplugs. These are nice, clean ones, unused. One of my best buys. Because despite it being well known for decades, probably centuries, good sleep, heals. No, the nurses, the orderlies, etc., even the doctors, will allow there to be noise all night. This is a disgusting society. And your greens, well, I actually take pleasure in every 3 or 4 months. I'm a very clean person, but I will actually clean my earplugs. I can keep them going for about 10 years, but no green will tell you the pleasure. I can fly one of these fucking aeroplanes I gave up when my daughter was born. That's what really being a green is. But it's not even about being a green. It's about, yes, our society was bourgeois dilettante for 45 years, and it hasn't really changed very much. There are a few. With Old Man Ralph 45 years ago, we would be building gates. The amount of gates that I come across around here that are so lazily. There is such pleasure in rebuilding a gate post. But no. I'm sounding like a tosser. 7 years. I've enjoyed. Well, it's depressing because half of my only offspring's blood is European. It truly tore her heart out. I do not have angry responses to anything, but gradually, having spent a year, 2016-17, meandering among my people, the lot, who cared, who were all pro-EU, listening to how they reacted. Yes, we were all in pain and grief, but then gradually trying to find something useful to say, none of them ever could. Ever. Let me give you one example of something useful to say. Guess what? So since, 7 years ago, or 7 years ago, is it tomorrow? I've floated by a dozen European acquaintances, or just a few, several I hadn't been in contact with for 20 years. One who I discovered was dead when I contacted her, my very best opportunity. I'm in the 30s, 40s in Europe, Britain even, it was completely normal. Hey, I need to marry you for your passport. You can be friends and maybe even find some mutual benefit. I floated through the lives of a dozen Europeans this. And guess what? They will politely reply. There was a Portuguese woman I was in touch with because of my genuine, proper, many-year friend dying of cancer, age 45. Don't fucking waste time. And we were corresponding a bit about Isabel Maria Ramos Lopez. Tragic. And I floated to her. Hey, I'm one of these poor British who have been, taken back pre-enlightenment almost. Any chance you'll fancy marrying? And guess what? They politely and jokingly reply, "Oh, you sound like a great guy. I know you cared about Issa. Sorry, got a boyfriend." Yeah, you get a reply. That's being human. You've no idea where you are with any British woman. Anyway, there we go. I should, yeah. If I get 1 million views, I'll get deported, and a United Nations passport, maybe. That's not my purpose. My purpose is, if I have one, to pull out simple, non-personally attacking truths from the journey through very ordinary people. They're really scary. And this is horrible, in that when I riff, landlope among 35 to 45-year-olds, their deep anger, their entitlement, the sense of entitlement of my age group and younger. I mean, I had a guy on BBC Question Time about 5 or 6 years ago. It was laughable. There was a middle-class guy, probably, whatever, and they were talking about the interest rates going from 1% to 2%, and he was angry in front of the whole TV, and this was a 35-year-old, well-presented man with his genos, whatever. I can't possibly pay 2% interest rates. The sense of stupid, ignorant entitlement. Anybody, even me, who doesn't have that much spare time to go off and study things that are tangential to the core thing, average interest rates throughout the world for the last 500 years have been 5 to 10%. I mean, this kind of, and it's their parents. I know it's their parents. It's not their fault. This notion that some magic fairy dust was sprinkled on the capitalist and bourgeois society and things suddenly changed. It's just such fantasy, but there's going to be violence in Britain, because when people have not a sense, know they're entitled to certain things, their lifestyle, etc., their interest rates their mortgage rates at 4%, and that all reverts back to, after 15 years, medium-term paradigm, and the boys, they're children, they're 40-year-olds. I was talking to one the other day, who I met and had a long chat with at Hay Festival. No, he was selling his wares in the streets of. You float to them. Sorry, grassroots never worked. We've known the word grassroots for 40 years and used it a lot, and sustainability. But no, you actually have to have genuine, fully inclusive messages that pull the masses with you. I'm never going to do that. I've done my bit. But and then they get angry. They turn it against you. It was really, I got the call recorded, Mr. Buzz. It's just hilarious. It's not his fault. But you're judgmental. You're saying that people use the words grassroots and bad people. No, I'm not. I'm actually saying, if you can listen, which they can't, and they all make out that they're super evolved, they've been to the right festivals, etc. Okay? It's no, I'm saying I'm sorry for your age group, because we've been listening to the Ellie Joneses, I have for 35 years, using these words like grassroots and I'm afraid to say doesn't really work. I'm not I believe in only the most Gandhi-ish kind of protest, but unless you have a massive fucking poll tax riots, that sometimes works a bit. But your grassroots, the government know about this. Oh, bless them, the little grassroots lot. Yeah, whilst the military-industrial complex has only expanded and endangers us because we are supplying yet another load of stupid, aggressive, Rambo brought up men in Central Europe. Blah, blah, blah. Interesting? Not really, because nothing really has changed in 45 years. There we go. End of.